That Momo's some bullshit. Like I saw somebody post about it like right on Facebook, and I'm like, all right, let me do the usual thing and do a little bit of research,
right? Yeah, right. Just
before you know,
Was it telling
and
people?
it's a hoax and shit. Like it's supposed to be based off like a thing that was happening like on kids' YouTube videos where certain little things were spliced into like the middle of the video the kids would watch that shouldn't be appropriate like for kids. This Momo shit is like about like this character, the picture that you've seen, like trying to tell kids to kill themselves or whatever, but it's a hoax. Like it's not really
stick
happening.
forks and lights and light sockets and
to slit your wrist and fucking where to slit your wrist, and if you don't do it, I'm gonna come get you type shit. Like whatever.
Yeah, shit like that. But it's a hoax. Like, but now that it's blown up, like now there's just all types of memes.
How is it a hoax? I don't understand how it's a hoax.
Like what it was saying was happening wasn't really happening. Like that the video, like supposedly that character was being spliced into kids like YouTube videos, telling them to encouraging them to hurt themselves or commit suicide. That's bullshit. That wasn't happening. But it's based off something similar that was happening where certain inappropriate things were being spliced into kids' YouTube videos. But what that meme was alleging, Momo, that character showing up in kids' video, like that wasn't happening.
Yeah, and the character itself wasn't like made by somebody. It was actually a piece of artwork that ultimately had to get destroyed because of all this controversy and hoax stuff going on. So
I know what that thing's telling those kids to do. It's like, click on this button to send money to me. That's what it's fucking doing. You don't need to talk to your parents.
They hate you.
Go with your mom's purse.
The idea of it is kind of creepy though. Like, you know, when you really think about it, it's fucking creepy as fuck.
And the thing, the artwork that you said it is or was or based off of that shit is ugly as fuck too. It reminds me of the chick from Beetlejuice when she fucked up.
Exactly. Yeah.
It has like chicken feet, like some shit too. Like it's crazy.
It's supposed to be based on some type of not mythology, maybe, but I don't know. The character design is based on some type of storyline culturally, but yeah, it'll be forgotten about in 2 weeks.
All right, down the line, who would let Momo blow them?
I get the fucking
exactly. Yeah.
That's nasty. That's nasty. You gotta have standards, Dave. You gotta have standards, bro.
All right, I'll ask you after you have a few drinks next time.
I was just gonna say it's gonna be about how many drinks can I have first.
All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 61 of Breaking the Mold. I'm Harrick BX. Let's say what's up to the crew. Energon Addict.
Yo, what's up, yo?
You sound like yourself. In the pre-show, you're not sounding like
I know.
yourself.
Apparently, I sounded more like this. And I was like, Energon Addict, what's up? But now,
I was like, is he sick? That's why I asked you. I was like, are you feeling well? You're not feeling well.
And I'm like, I'm coming off of a cold. What do I sound like? And Brian's laughing. He's like, yeah, you don't sound like you're suffering now.
No, you sounded like that fake voice you used to trick Dom about Mythic Legions.
Oh,
It's white man voice.
the super white guy.
hi, Dom. Hello,
It
my
is
name's
the-
Dave. How are you?
It is.
You're right.
It is this white man voice.
I sound like Gary.
I know.
It's the country club.
I guess you guys know I had a pretty decent weekend. I met up with Dust on Saturday. We went to dinner. Then we went to IKEA, which was cool. It's just funny because
Did you hold hands?
no, but he was doing the whole couple thing while we were at dinner.
Oh,
And he was like talking like that, and he was like, "Yeah, honey, like, what are you gonna order?" And I was like, "Oh, come on, stop!" Because like there was this guy that kept turning around. I was like, "We just don't look like a good couple either. Like it's just weird, like, you know." And like I know if they probably looked at us, they're like probably thinking, I wonder who's the bottom. You know, like which one is it?
Oh God.
But it's funny. We went to IKEA. Yeah, and we had a few beers at dinner, so it's funny going to IKEA when you're a little fucked up, So, we did the whole walkthrough. Dust was cool walking through the whole store. I had to pick up a few items. We waited on that long line, and we made it out. And then I dropped him back off where he was staying. He was apparently in for his sister's daughter's first birthday or something like that.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
good time.
I saw he checked in over the Throgs Neck Bridge. I'm like, oh, he's close. He texted me like, where you at? Like he showed me like a picture of like the bridge. I'm like, yeah, you're like 5 minutes away from me. That's cool. That's cool. How's the rest of the week been? Everything been all right?
Yeah. I mean, I was excited actually to go to IKEA because I needed some stuff to finish the stuff in the room. So I got all the doors. So I got all my doors that I needed. I did the lighting under the Vestas as well.
Oh, yeah, I can see it all lit up.
Yeah, I could start putting more stuff in there. You just see some stuff thrown in there at the moment, but now I could start putting figures in there, seeing how I'm going to display it. So excited about that.
It's looking good. It's looking good. What's that white thing behind you over there, like over your left shoulder? Like, is that also a display?
So the space that's in the middle, eventually a TV will be there in the between the two the pillars. So, man, I have that lit too, but since I don't really have much in there, I have it off at the moment. Oh shit. Yeah.
Nice. It's good to see the progress, man. Good to see the progress. Looking good.
Yep.
All right. The analyzer, Brian Brank. What's up,
dude? What's going on? I wanted to talk about something in my opening, and I forgot what it was. So I will just say this. There is no spoon.
Yeah.
It bends because I watched The Matrix this weekend. All three. I was inspired by Chris's latest pickup in his 1/6 collection, that Neo. And I have to say, when that thing came out, I was a hardcore computer guy, and I just thought the world of that movie. I thought it was really awesome. And it's fine. I forgot how long they are. At least the middle one and the last one.
Yeah.
But it's nice now that you can fast forward. But I remember being in the theater and being like, oh, enough with the dancing. Can we get back to the Matrix, please?
Dancing.
Yeah, it is good. It's a good story.
You didn't like the TNA during the part? There was the sex scene going on too.
Yeah, it's just
I like that.
What do you call it? Gratuitous. It was just too much. I have to say though, Lawrence Fishburne was fucking badass.
Yeah.
Badass in those films, man.
Yeah, I love those films, and you could see the difference between the first and then the second and third, because they made those back to back, and you could just see how much more money they had for it, and how like you said, they expanded it like so much instead of keeping it kind of like to the core basics like they did in the first one.
Yeah, and looking at the the mechanisms, the computer whatever things that took over the Earth. I could see that these are all linked to the Bay films. I don't understand what it is with robots needing to look like bugs and shit like that, but I guess it's a thing. But obviously that's where Michael got his inspiration from.
Maybe, possibly. You're right. Might be right. All right, Big Dom, what's up, dude?
What's going on, guys?
Hi.
Enjoyed my weekend. It was I ended up going to the Wayne Toy Show on Sunday morning.
Dom, I almost drove up for that.
Yeah, it was good. The NECA was there. They had a bunch of shit. People, if you weren't there at like 8 o'clock when they put it all out, they pretty much sold out. They had like a life-size Gremlin replica that was selling. Like I guess they had like 6 of them, and a bunch of the dealers bought them up. So
really, life-size, like a life-size Stripe?
Yeah, like a life-size replica of a Gremlin.
That's scary, man.
I don't know. Yeah. I never knew they made one of those, but they had. I guess he had like a couple boxes of them.
It's a Wai Zhang model of the Gremlin.
Did they have any giant turtles?
No, they didn't have giant turtles. They didn't have
about the cartoons.
They didn't have the movie turtles. They didn't have the cartoon turtles. They just had a bunch of old stuff. A lot of Predator stuff. They had like a couple Predator stuff, and then all the the Christmas Vacation and all that other stuff that they have that nobody buys. So but the toy show was good. Like saw a couple Gomez's at some people had some Gomez's, and they were asking for ridiculous amounts of money for.
How much were they asking for the lanyard?
$300. So I was like, I think the lowest one that the person was asking $250 for it, and I was like, yeah, I'll pass.
That's crazy. You still were you not able to?
No, I got a pre-order.
on
I
it?
just wanted
Okay.
to see if I can grab it earlier than wait until September next year.
Oh, that's when they're releasing.
No, it's gonna be this September. But knowing Mezco, it's gonna drop everything in December like they always do.
Oh.
Do they still have those people in the back making breakfast sandwiches?
Oh
in there?
yeah.
Mm.
They got the
What are
people
the
in the
reason to
back
go?
bar making some breakfast sandwiches, like cookies, and they got like crumb cakes. So it's lovely when you're on a diet and you're walking around that room and you smell some, all that goodness that you can't have.
Dude.
Yeah, you're not indulging in that
No,
stuff right
no.
now. So
A lot of
Is it-
pops. There's a lot of pop sellers there.
Is it all day? When's it close?
I think it closes around 4. I think.
Oh,
I
wow.
can't remember. I'm usually out of there. I get in there like around 9. I try to make it because I think early admission is like $10, and then like 9 o'clock it's $5.
is that toy show like something that's reoccurring, like monthly?
Yeah,
or
it's
something
the first Sunday of every month.
okay.
But like usually, like February, March is a good time to go because they're like it was packed. Like there was a lot of people there at this time. So.
What were you going like with a purpose, expecting to find?
No,
something,
like
looking
you
for
find
anything,
like it's like there's times I go there I find nothing. There's times I go there I find like pick up amazing things. So like there's sometimes there's like there's regulars there a lot. Like there's the same vendors there constantly. So there might have maybe 1 or 2 tables that open up that you get those guys that just want to liquidate their collection and get rid of it and get rid of some stuff. So that's always a good thing to see, and you can pick up some good deals. There's stuff that you might missed out on or stuff like that.
Okay.
But like they have like a lot of old, like sometimes they have some vendors there that had a lot of old stuff like Dungeons and Dragons. I saw like a whole Dungeons and Dragons set with the horses and a couple of the figures still sealed in card back, and a guy sold it for like $250. Like I think there was 2 card back figures and 2 horses, and he sold it for like $250, which was a good deal because I think one was War Duke and then another I think one of the good guys, I can't remember which one it was, and then 2 horses.
I thought because I figured if it's in the same place, it's monthly. Like you're gonna always get maybe the same type of vendors there.
Yeah,
so you're always gonna see the same type of stuff.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, do you really see anything new? Like
I feel
are there
bad
retailers there like that that reset their stock, like where you could definitely find some new stuff. If you go.
Like there's a couple retailers that's like mostly the pops guys. Like they'll have new stuff, new pops and stuff like that, and I see that, like, and there's young kids that go there looking for that stuff, and at the end of the day, it's that pops always sell, but the thing is that there's some old timers that go there religiously, and they have like a lot of like old comics and periodicals and TV guides and stuff like that, and records, some old records, and I see this guy there all the time, and it's like unfortunate. He's like always at the same table. Everybody just passes his table. Like you get maybe one or 2 people looking at what he's got, but it's like a sore thumb out in the middle of nowhere when you have all these toys, and then all of a sudden you got a guy in there like just selling comic books and just old like articles on things and magazines and stuff like that. So
I've seen those people that shows before.
yeah, like it's cool and all. It's nice to look like when you got some downtime, but like I'm not you're
not
feel
trying
bad.
to spend any money on that stuff.
I think he gets like I know I'm sure he gets some type of discount just because he's been there all the time. He's there all the time, and it's like I'm sure he's get some type of discount on the table, and he brings his stuff, and he's an older guy. He's probably in his 50s, 60s years old.
He's probably losing every time he gets a table, but he's just there, pass the time.
Yeah. And there's a couple guys that have like the old vintage stuff, like those little knickknacks and paddywhacks, and some stuff that like you remember as a kid having that you tooled around with because your parents didn't want to spend more than $5 at a toy store, and just they had that stuff.
Yeah, no.
So it was pretty cool. I enjoyed myself. I didn't pick up much. You know, I got a couple things.
He said much. I didn't pick much up.
February, I picked up a couple things, but like, you know, it's nice. Like, you know, like I'm always going in there trying to find like I never was able to get like a Combiner Wars Skylinks. Like I never got it. So
Oh, so you found it?
No, I never found it. Like I'll go to that show and like hopefully one time I'll see it and I'll hopefully grab it. But you know, those are the types of shows that you find things like that and pick it up and grab it.
Nice.
And not pay like, you know, $80 or $60 for it.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you. All right. G Money. What's up, dude? Are you there? Could barely see you.
I'm here. Oh no, I'm here.
Hey, there you go.
I'm here.
Yeah. He's the man in the darkness.
He's got the mood.
I don't have anything that exciting to talk about other than I've been 20 years late to the party. And I don't know did you guys ever like not discover, because it doesn't happen when you're late, but pick up like on a TV series or a show long after it kind of ran its course, and you're like, why the fuck didn't I watch this?
You started watching 90210, didn't you?
No. However, I remember Dust made this comment once. I started watching The Sopranos. I'd never watched it before.
Really?
So yeah, just for whatever reason, when it was like around, you know, various points in life and moving, I either didn't have HBO or whatever. I just never got into watching it. And I was like, yeah, I'll give it a shot. And I'm like, I'm 2 seasons in, like quickly. And I do find myself wanting to talk at work like Tony Soprano. I got to separate life and make believe a little bit here so I don't get myself fired. That would suck.
Why? Just do it.
Yeah. Can I come live with you and Chan, JD? With I can't pay the place here. So
hey, Gary, are you binge watching it?
Yeah.
All right. I want to warn you. I think that's a show you need to have in some sort of moderation, because when you binge watch that show, you really do get a little downtrodden on society and how life works. It happens, man. It affects you. Be careful.
I don't need a show to do that for me.
Yeah. No, you might be right, Brian, because I came home. It was, I don't know. It was just
fucks with you, man.
I'll keep that in mind. That in mind. Yeah, just in case, because it's. Yeah, that's it. Just waiting for winter to somehow start to subside a little bit here, and feel like you can get outside a little bit and do some other stuff. So.
Yeah, I hear that. I've never watched Soprano. I've seen like a lot of it, but I've never watched it beginning to end. I've never seen it straight through. So I think it is available. I think on Amazon or something like for free. All these seasons.
Yeah, it's on Amazon Prime. That's where I'm watching it.
Yeah, I think I'll try to blow through them too. Now Brian got me intrigued. If you binge it, might feel a certain type of way.
Be careful.
Yeah.
That's interesting. All right, JD, what's up, dude?
Not much. How are we all doing?
I'm good.
Good, JD.
Good. Lots of goods. Goods all over.
Good. It's not greats, but goods. We're here.
We're here. We got a whole lot of snow and cold as fuck.
Yeah.
You caught snow?
Yeah.
They were saying we were supposed to get like 5 to 8 inches in the city. Dave, did you catch it back? Did you catch anything?
I got about 3 or 4, I think.
It wasn't bad here. Like it's some of it like stuck, but by the morning, like it wasn't like they closed the schools down and stuff, and it was like they didn't even have to.
Yeah.
It wasn't that bad, So JD, you caught it worse?
We got about like 5 to 8. So
that's what we should have got.
Yeah.
Our snow.
It was kind of crazy because, like, I, living in this area for most of my life, I've never heard of a commercial vehicle ban.
Yeah, they stopped doing that now because the trucks are going to get stuck on some roads, and then also.
Well, they did it on the major highways.
Yeah, like they do it on the turnpike here in the Parkway.
Yeah,
the Parkway you can't.
But dude, there were tractor trailers everywhere.
What?
It's
Just
like
like
the state troopers, like I don't know how they could have even keep up with that.
Yeah.
Because they were everywhere.
They didn't give two
what do you mean?
shits.
Like they wouldn't let them on the highway, so they just camped out at, like in your town?
No, there was nothing. There was nothing stopping anyone from junction to junction or from any of the exits.
They disregarded it.
Oh, zero, like the zero fucks given. They had a zero commercial.
I mean, we saw like one state trooper and he had somebody pulled over. They were enforcing it because every sign, the they have the LED signs or whatever.
Yeah.
Every single one of those, whatever, every 5 miles.
So like they
said, commercial vehicles. It's a commercial ban on, 283, 83, 81. Blah,
yeah.
blah,
So
blah,
they did the they can't get us all type of mentality. So we're gonna all drive.
Right.
And they'll get one of us, but
I mean, what can you do? Like you're on the turnpike. You get off the turnpike because that's the direction you're heading. You're coming from like Louisiana or some shit, trying to get to New York. You know what I mean? And you got to hit some junction along the way here. Like, what do you do in that situation? You can't stop.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think that's what they were. I think that's what they were looking them to do. But those truckers stopping cost them money. So.
Yeah. Dust says in Jersey they pull them over, $1,000 fine and 5 points. Damn, that's fucking crazy. Shit.
I didn't know that was that bad. That's 5 points and $1,000 fine. Wow.
And why do they do this again?
It was a ban. It was a ban that they enforced when that first storm.
Just for weather. All right.
Yeah, like when it was bad weather, that first storm that we got, because they didn't fucking put anything down on the roads to treat the roads. A lot of those trailers got stuck and caused a lot of traffic, and they caused a lot of problems. And
if anything, it should ban just regular people.
Yeah,
the general public. Yeah, I mean, a rig has at least weight on its side.
Exactly, but you're right, JD. Like, there's no reason for us to be out there, but there is a reason for them to be out there.
JD, how's your truck do in the snow with the lift on it?
It does pretty awesome, actually.
That's good.
Yeah.
I know my Jeep doesn't. The lift is fine and helpful, but the giant tires act more like skis in the snow. To tell you the truth, it's not. Well, I always tell people that's why when you see like plow vehicles and stuff, they don't have big monster tires on it because it's all physics, So the smaller tire and wheel actually works better in the deeper snow.
Fuck the snow.
No, I mean, it gives me a chance to play.
Yeah,
a little bit too.
That's what I was about to say. Is that what you did? Just kind of chilled indoors and
pretty much. Snowman? Did you go build a snowman, JD?
No. Unless we had to go somewhere, because we had to leave to go get we had to go out and grab a couple things on Sunday, and then my cousin was here from Florida. He was here up until it started snowing really bad, and then after they left, we had to run and grab a couple things, but we had to run out to where she used to live, which is almost half an hour away. So, but it was fun, you know what I mean? By the time we came back, everything was crawling. All the traffic was crawling. And
did you find a parking lot and do some donuts? I used to love doing that when I had.
No, I just did them on the road.
Yeah, that works too.
Have you ever ghost ride a shopping cart in an empty parking lot?
Sure.
Like you pull up to a shopping cart with your car, start driving slower and faster, and then stop and let the shopping cart just go flying. Do you ever do that?
What?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Huh?
Because we're grown ups.
I heard it was a thing. I never did it, but
wait,
I heard.
It sounds like a good way to scratch your car up. What are you talking
exactly.
No. So you're in an empty parking lot with shopping carts, and there's a random shopping cart, a loner shopping cart, just out in the middle of nowhere. You pull your car to it, the front of the car, get to the back of it, and then just get real slow. So you start moving the shopping cart, and then you get faster and faster and letting it speed up, and then you stop and let the shopping cart just go, and then it eventually hits like a curb or something, and it just flips up in the air like shit.
You guys didn't have movie theaters in Jersey where you grew up?
Yeah, I had movie theaters.
Just saying, like, you know
We have
what
movie
you guys
theaters.
did.
We also have, like, electricity.
Okay.
Dave, you confused me. So I was like, who brings which movie theaters have shopping carts? I don't understand.
No, I'm just saying what they did for fun out there when they were growing up. I don't know.
I've never seen this a random empty lot with just a lone shopping cart. where
Oh,
you-
there's shopping carts all over the place. We don't get a fucking quarter when we return.
Yeah, go
What
to
Dom did before he was on Breaking the Mold, guys. Just so you know.
Yeah.
go to a Walmart at 2 a.m.
Yeah, here in the city,
Oh,
those
yeah.
shopping carts are locked down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They only let the supermarket employees use them.
They charge rent
When
for
it deliveries to your house. You know? Yep. So,
I'm sorry that I ever brought it up.
Me too.
Sorry, Dave.
it's nice.
I'll go to the movies next time. Okay.
It's nice to know what you were into, Dom. Nice.
Yeah.
I never did it. I just heard about it.
I have a friend who did it.
Mhm.
Mhm. Mhm.
That friend is me. You know what I mean?
Oh man. So anything else, JD? Anything else eventful from the weekend?
Not really. I mean, like I said, my cousin was here from Florida visiting, so it's kind of cool to see him.
Did you enjoy your toy collection?
Yeah, that's what I was about
Yeah,
to
he had
say.
never been here before. He has come to visit. Like, this was like his third time in Pennsylvania. He said he hasn't had he hadn't seen snow since he was like 11. His wife had never seen snow.
Wow.
But yeah, like the last couple times that they visited, they tried to, we tried to schedule it so they could come visit and check everything out, and they finally got to do it. It was pretty cool.
Did they take any snow home for souvenirs?
Oh, I don't know.
Stupid.
JD,
Stupid.
They
So
were
stupid.
they were excited for the snow, like to get to where they were staying, because like they were gonna wake up in the morning, go and roll in it, and build snowmans and all that kind of stuff before they left.
Did they make snow angels? That's what you have to do that.
I mean, I would imagine.
Now, when you guys say snow, you're not talking about cocaine, right? You're talking about snow, right? Sort of make
So
sure.
that's what you did before you pushed the shopping carts with the car. You were fucking blow. And now I get it. All right, makes sense.
Why is everything foolish have to start with drugs, Dave? You could be a fool just being a fool. You don't have to be on drugs to do it.
He
Jesus.
admits it. He admits
It's because Dave does a lot of fool stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Druggy. You need help.
Well, I had a low key weekend. There was nothing going on. I was
Hey,
chilling.
Jose, what did you do?
Not a whole lot, but this weekend is Big Apple Comic Con right across the street from Madison Square Garden. So I'm thinking about hitting that up.
What's that, Jose?
Like a Comic Con. They used to do it back in the day where it was just like comic books and they had the comic artists, but it's grown a little bit where, you have vendors there with tables, art, similar to what we did with ZoloCon. It's just, I just don't think they have as much as like the action figure aspect. There are figures there, but it seems to be more of a mix with comic books and art and action figures.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of it being like mostly action figures, but it's still cool. There's gonna be this dude that played Luke Cage on the Netflix show, Michael Coulter. Is his name, I think. Yeah, he's gonna be there. Shatner's gonna be there.
William Shatner?
Yeah,
God, damn. He's like got to be like what, 90 something by now?
yeah. $85 for a photo op if you want it. So. A couple of celebrities there. This dude that played the Green Power Ranger, Jason David Frank, like he's always usually there. Yeah,
You gotta eat.
Yep, you'll see
He's
a bunch
gotta
of
eat.
you'll see a bunch of other guys, like other little minor celebs, comic book artists. Like Steranko, always goes there. A couple other guys. But it's interesting, and you get to see lots of cosplay. also. So Brian, I don't know, maybe you should
There's the
come up,
truth.
make the trip.
Found out the real reason you're going.
I'm going to be witnessing nuptials this weekend.
Oh yeah,
Sorry.
yeah, that's right. That's right. Darn. Yeah, so I'll probably do that Saturday and then yeah, Sunday. Just
Jose was going to send you pics, Brian. So don't worry. You got you covered.
Yeah, you know how it goes. I'll definitely be taking a few.
Gort's interested. He wants to know when.
Oh, nice. Saturday.
There you go. Except Gort's going to the wedding as well.
Yeah. How's that gonna work?
He's gonna split himself into.
Split.
You guys, that's right. The Lowry wedding is this weekend, so you guys got to do some type of like live stream. You know what I'm saying? We need to see what's going on. Go live in the group for a few minutes during the after party at Dave and Buster's, so we can see you guys having some fun.
Yeah, man. Dude, it's gonna be a long day. They're getting married at 9:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Yep.
We were talking about that. Like, how who gets?
How am I gonna wake up?
That's not how everybody does it.
That's about the time I go to sleep.
Like, I can see like noon. There's gonna be a lot of drunk people by noon. You know what I mean? There's gonna be a lot of people hosed early in the day.
So when does the reception start?
9:45, I think.
By like 10 o'clock, people are. Tyler F's gonna be passed out in the back of somebody's car. You know, it's gonna be a mess. It's gonna be a mess.
Oh man, that's awesome, yo! Congrats to them both. It's gonna be cool to see the pics and hear the stories and stuff like that. And shit, man, since all those festivities are gonna be getting down early, I don't know. Maybe if I'm in the city, I'll knock a few back early with you.
All right,
keeping the spirit of it all, All right, so Dave brought up a topic. Where's this thing?
I did.
So he brought up. Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Fucking finally.
Did.
Fucking pull your weight, dude. He's all he stands back and smiles. That's all he does. And shop. Look at him. He's fucking shopping right now.
Yeah, you see that, Dave? You see fucking Dom couldn't wait to fucking throw some punches right there.
Yeah, Mythic Legion. Where's the Mythic Legions? Where's the Mythic Legions?
Is that what you're shopping for?
No, I'm actually I'm in another group where the person said they were gonna post that SOC Voltron.
Voltron.
The Solar Chogokin reissue Voltron up for pre-order between the hours of 3 and 5 o'clock Pacific time, and it's past that time now. So I'm like, what the fuck happened? But
you trying to get another pre-order in?
Listen, dude, what do you mean another? Dude, we don't talk about what we talk about the pre-show during the show, man. No, I actually am. If I could get a second pre-order, I would probably try to help somebody out.
Yeah, of course.
Because I know a bunch of people haven't got it yet. But if I can get in there, why not?
No, I know. Yeah, I know a couple of heads. Well, actually, speaking of pre-orders, we were going to speak about that. There was a time, like, remember back in the day, dude, when we were all fresh into the third party, it almost seemed like you had to do that. Like everything fucking sold out and shit, And then we got to a certain time where it was like you didn't have to sweat the pre-order. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you didn't pre-order, you could just pick it up at release, and even months after, these things would still be available. But now I'm noticing certain pieces like the Voltron you just mentioned. That thing just went up for pre-order and almost sold out immediately.
Yep.
So let's talk about that a little bit. Like, what, we all got that experience. We've all done it. We probably still do it to a certain extent. The when and why you would want to pre-order. And I mean, a piece like that, a no-brainer, something that is going to be hot, something that's anticipated, something that sold out previously and was going for a crazy price, like on the market. Like, that's a no-brainer to me, as to why you would want to get a pre-order in.
Exactly.
Yeah, to me, if it's a must-have, and I know, I mean, fucking looking around here, I mean, are they all must-have? But no, seriously, if it's a must-have, dude, go fucking pre-order it.
Yeah.
I mean,
when I pre-order, I treat it as a list. Like if I want it, I'll pre-order it and then just keep it as a list and then like I'll tend back to that list and say, what pre-orders do I want to drop? What pre-orders I want to keep still, because it's, for me, it's a list that I keep. Whether I go through the transaction and pay for it, that's another thing. But like I use it as a running list of what things I'm interested in, and then eventually that list, sometimes changes when I review it again, and it's just, I'm not interested in this anymore. I'll drop it off the pre-order list.
See, you're able to do that sometimes, and drop a pre-order depending on where you order from, but
Correct.
Sometimes you're not.
Yeah. So I pre-order from BBTS. Like I'll pre-order from BBTS. BBTS pre-order is pretty freaking flawless because you can pre-order for BBTS and keep it there, and then if the pre-order does drop and it comes in stock, you basically have 10 days prior to it coming in stock to drop it or cancel it without penalty, or store credit, which is they basically you can cancel it and get your refund back to your credit card that you paid with. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, but you have to do that within what?
10 days.
10 days.
10 days. Yeah.
See, that scares me, right? Especially like not to like dwell on Mythic Legions or anything, but we all know that like a lot of that stuff sold out, and BBTS has a lot of it on pre-order. So I went and pre-ordered a few figures that I may or may not get when they when they actually drop and they do like a in stock sale at Four Horsemen.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm nervous is let's say that you got you probably have a whole squad of people paying attention to this stuff because I'm sure they're very on top of social media, BBTS, and they'll know when that order goes through. And you're telling me you have 10 days, right? Mm-hmm. Regardless if they have the stock in or not, they can just hit that in stock button and ship it to you when the fuck they get it.
Correct. Oh, correct. Yeah.
Because they know they're getting it in X amount of days. You know what I mean? So it can potentially fuck you. You know what I'm saying? If you go and pre-order through BBTS where their figures are $15 more than
well, I mean, if it's sent to like your pile of loot or whatever, that none of that'll ship till you tell them
release it. Yeah, until you release it and for shipment. And that's what I do. I put everything to my pile of loot, and then I get that 10 days window, and then I can trace. But what Dave is saying is that if the company knew, there's a lot of 2.0 figures out there, the All-Star Tripping figures that are BBTS right now. I think one of them is sold out right now on pre-order. The others are still remaining. So I'm assuming everybody else who's into Mythic Legions is gambling at the fact that Four Horsemen is going to drop an in-stock, a pre-order, basically, an in-stock where they're going to put all the 2.5 figures up. And hopefully that happens before BBTS releases their pre-orders. And if it does, buy it from Four Horsemen, get the discount of $35 a figure instead of $50 a figure, and then you basically cancel your pre-orders with BBTS.
Yeah,
and it's like you're hedging your bet. You're hedging your bet pretty much. So
I do the same, Dom. Like that's the reason why I do it, because some of you guys are lucky. As we always say, Dom is living in the land of milk and honey, and you're able to find things. But sometimes no, as you mentioned earlier, I wasn't sure if it was on air about the Skylinks, how you never got that. You know what I'm saying? So me, I never find shit, and I don't have the means really to easily go and try to toy hunt like in physical stores. So the bulk of my shopping I pretty much have to do online, unless you guys are looking out and we luck out and you guys find pieces for me. But so I have to almost rely on that. So it's the same thing. I'll get in and I put in those BBTS pre-orders just because you don't have to pay for it. And Dave, that's a good point. You have to be smart about where you're pre-ordering from, so we could all get our tips and tricks about what sites are good. Obviously, BBTS, you could do that. Unfortunately, they do mark things up, which is a trend I'm noticing from a couple other sites as well. Before, I didn't really notice that much from them. You pretty much got things from them at a retail price, and now it looks like they're marking everything up $5, $10, $15 on certain items. But you do get that guarantee. You do get the benefit of not having to pay up front for that pre-order. And if you get that pre-order in, you're guaranteed to get the figure you want, regardless if you're going to pay a little bit more if you don't find it around your way or from somewhere else. Sites like Anime Export, which I know a few of us use. With them, unfortunately, you have to pay for your pre-order up front. So once you go with a site like that, you're locked in. You know, what do you think about the pros and cons about that? Like because I know Ace doesn't mind paying ahead on pre-orders because he knows he's going to get the figure, and by the time it comes out, he doesn't have to worry about paying for it. He's just
sometimes it's a surprise. You forget about it.
Yeah. Sometimes it is a nice surprise. Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about this. Yay me, new toy that I didn't have to pay for. Well, don't have to pay for now because I already paid for.
In the Mythic Legion's perspective, although when we pre-ordered all those toys, like now we're gonna get our delivery soon, right? Mm-hmm. So like we paid that like a year ago, like almost a year and a couple months ago. So it's like it's nice that we're gonna get all these toys and it's already paid for, and I don't have to worry about paying it and what how financially what movie money I have to move where to fork up that kind of cash that I paid out back a year and a half ago. So. It's nice.
You know what's funny though about that pre-order when we all did it, we only picked out what we thought we liked, right?
Exactly.
And then as the year went on and we got to actually see some of these figures and they actually released some of the figures that we pre-ordered, we were like, oh shit, we like more than what we pre-ordered. So
I want them all.
Yeah. And I think that's what kind of scary about pre-ordering as well, is because like you never know what's gonna be hot and what's not. So I'll just throw like this example up, Mezco Catwoman, right? So I pre-ordered through Crashbox, right? And it's a great figure, but when it first came out, had a bunch of QC issues, which they fixed. But I think that dropped the price of the figure. And what was happening is you were seeing some websites like Entertainment Earth or, like websites like that were dropping $20 off the price. So it's like, hey, like, was it smart for me to pre-order it and pay, the full ask as opposed to waiting and then possibly, saving when it's not a guarantee though, because like not everything is going to go on sale or be available once it gets released. So it's gambling.
I'm really, 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 really upset I missed out on that deluxe Hellboy figure.
Yeah, me too.
I am so upset. And then so I was all Mythic Legion starry-eyed and completely forgot. And I'm like, okay, I got to do this before the end of November.
Yeah.
And then the end of November rolls around, and I'm like, oh, well, they're going to be here, and we got to get Legions, and
sounds like we need a community calendar.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, and Dave, I just want to add, getting a great deal is nice, but sometimes just having that peace of mind of getting it, something
I agree.
you really want.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I totally agree with you.
I'm a Mezco collector, and every time a pre-order goes up, I buy from Chris. A lot of my stuff comes from Chris, but like Chris, obviously informs me whether he's going to pick up a figure or not. So even before he does, or he gets, before he puts that inquiry out, like I pre-order on BBTS, I'll put the pre-order up and put it in my my loot and just keep it there. And then like if Chris is gonna pick it up, I'll just drop the pre-order. But like I the funny thing is 90% of the time those pre-orders never sell out for Mezco. But then there's that like 10% where that one figure fucking sells out and the pre-order is sold out, and now everybody's looking for it. The one example is the PX Sovereign Batman, which is the blue Batman that's coming out. That sold out in seconds. That's the first PX other than the Punisher that sold out within like crazy. Like it's so people like the gray and blue Batman, and that one was announced as a PX exclusive, and it sold out within 20 minutes. So.
Yeah, see, but it's crazy though, because like Dave said, it's like maybe you can try to guess, but you never really know, like if something's gonna sell out or not. So I don't know. It's just is the safe bet just to maybe just put in the pre-order at BBTS just because you can cancel like without penalty.
Oh yeah, I feel it's a safe bet because at the end of the day, you never know. Like I was funny. It's like. There's a couple, even like Dave, right? Dragon Ball Z figures from SH Figure Arts. Like some of them sell out crazy. Like pre-orders.
Yeah, like that's another example. Like there's a recent figure. It's a Great Saiyaman, right? It's basically Gohan. He dresses up in a superhero outfit, and that's the latest figure that came out. So with that, what's funny is that they allocated more Japanese releases of those figures than they did the American ones. And when that happens, you're paying more for the Japanese release because you're getting it earlier. You're getting it with the brown shipper. People were jumping on that because they knew they weren't going to get the US release because they were only getting, all the vendors were only getting so many of them. So you wound up saying, you know what, I'll just fucking pay for the one that's more because I'm guaranteed to have it, as opposed to hoping that I get the American version once it releases.
Mm-hmm.
So that shit happens all the time with SA Figuarts, or the opposite effect happens. You get a figure that came out and it's $60, $65 retail when it comes out. And then for some reason, there's thousands of them out floating around and the price drops. And you see those at your Barnes and Nobles for fucking 35, $40.
Yeah. What about the ones, have you noticed like I used to buy a lot of the Kamen Rider figures. That's not something they really release here. It's not like a property like Dragon Ball Z that's big like over here in the Western world. So with those pre-orders, those figures pre-orders, a lot of them tend to be like Tamashii web exclusives. So it's almost like you have to pre-order from these Japanese sites, like, or because you don't know whether they're going to be released here. And if they do, usually BBTS marks them up like a lot. Like you might pay,
but that's
like
that hasn't been happening, Jose. Like I've been noticing, because a lot of those web exclusives, sometimes when like if the funny thing is, I got caught because like a couple of times where I pre-order something on oversight, like on Anime Export or something, and then like because the price is like, you would think the price would be cheaper, and then all of a sudden BBTS has it for the same price, and then the shipping is less.
Yeah, they've been matching the prices lately. I was told that's because they're buying more volume.
Yeah, like I seen that recently, Dave, where their prices are exactly the same as imports, and you're going to save on shipping and pay more with shipping now.
And especially for the exclusive ones, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of like, for instance, Falcon, I think, was the last one. He's in my loot right now, my pile, and he was only $10 more on BBTS than he was at Anime Export.
And you say you save on the shipping anyway. If you're going to ship express. So that I didn't notice, because I'm going by like when like the original like Black Panther came out and the Black Widow, I think, from Age of Ultron, like those things. I think if you would have went with the Japanese pre-order, you would have paid about 80 to 85, and BBTS was charging 120.
Exactly. Yeah, that like for the Transformers, the Plus series, like the anime colored ones, like the Wheeljack was cheaper buying it from Anime Export. And it was like $60, and after shipping, it probably comes out to like, maybe $70. The thing is that BBTS had it up for like $80, like $90, $80, $85, and I'm like, I'm just gonna buy it from Anime Export. But what was the recent Plus that just came out? It was Blue Streak, same price, same exact price on Anime Export that BBTS had it for.
Yep.
Yeah. And I did the only one time I did notice where it's like, well, I wound up paying more going with the Japanese release was when they released the Great Shot. And that supposedly was supposed to be an exclusive. And, but after shipping, I paid way more. Like when BBTS had it for like $95. I was like, that sucked.
The same thing happened with me in the Iron Man Mark 7, Brian. Like I bought it from Anime Export, and then I bought on top of that, I bought the Hall of Armor separately, but those two prices plus the shipping is going to be more than what I would have bought if I bought the US version, which came with both, which was like 120. So I screwed myself on that, but like I just didn't know. Like I didn't know. You would think that people were saying, oh, that they're not going to come out in the US, blah 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 blah. Then all of a sudden, you get caught in that trap.
Yeah. I think when you collect, you always have that fear of missing out at some point, to a certain degree, but you have to, really evaluate how badly you want the item. So like the Voltron, like Jose hooked me up, several months ago, but I still put in an order for another one because I'm not going to make that same damn mistake twice, just in case, whether for myself or somebody else, just to have it. Like I know how great it is. And, I'm not going to stress over, BBTS charging New York state tax, right? If I was able to get it, simple and easy and know that it's going to be penalty free, and have a bit of support after the point of sale. Like I don't have a ton of experience personally with some of the overseas, pre-order places, but I know that which of the, US retailers have given me really good service if and when something goes wrong, with an item. So I think there's a bit of peace of mind for that too, especially depending on the price of the item that you're looking at.
Yeah, that's a good point. I know Dust likes to, like, when he does pre-order an item, he does like to do it from, like, let's say Hanny or, an American retailer, just because if something is wrong with the item, it's going to be a lot easier to return or get it replaced. It happened with me, like Dave, right? Like, I think I had sold you that masterpiece. I forgot what it was because Anime Export sent me the wrong figure and I sold
Artfire.
Oh, the
Artfire.
Yeah.
So a nice wrong piece for them to send me, but it wasn't what I ordered. It wasn't what I wanted. And I was able to flip it real quick. But imagine the nightmare would have been if I would have tried to send that back to Anime Export, how much it would have cost and whatnot, So that is a good point, and I wanted to ask you guys too, like, I know we all try to be smart and stuff like that, but the pros and cons, whether they're paying up front or paying later, like is if you save like $10, $15, or maybe even $20, are you okay with just paying up front for the pre-order rather than paying later and not being committed and where you could cancel anytime? Because once you pay, you're committed to that item.
Like I would love somebody to give that offer. Like if say the toys, like say it's a $200 toy, if you pre-order and pay up front, we'll give you a discount and you only pay $170. Like, I would do that. I would definitely
do it in a heartbeat.
Yeah. It's a fun little game sometimes.
Well, I don't know if you guys remember, like, maybe a year, 2 years ago, you used to find that in some of the third-party groups where people were doing group buys.
Yeah.
And hey, if you jump in, I'm gonna order, X amount of figures. If you do this now, you get it for this money, this amount, which was cool because you could save. You know what I'm saying? But the only bad part about doing things like that is, like, depending on who you're dealing with, when we used to deal with Hung was great. You know what I mean? And, the guy Enrique's pretty good too. That's doing it now. But depending on who you're dealing with, sometimes you could order a figure and, you got it on a group buy. This guy may not be even somebody who lives in the States. It might be somebody overseas that you're dealing with. And I've had this experience happen to me where you pre-order something, you get it in, and something's wrong with it.
Yep.
Now you got to ship it back, but they don't have that.
They don't have it.
Yeah, they don't have any more, or they don't have that rapport with the company that they're ordering from to get you a replacement piece. And if they do, it's going to take forever, So sometimes you got to be careful about that too. You know what I'm saying? You might be saving, but in the long run, you might end up with a shitty ass figure or something like that.
But like going back to your question, Jose, like with Hot Toys, like I know I can buy it from Sideshow and go do a payment plan and make it easier for myself, but I'd actually rather buy it from BB or pre-order at BBTS and save a little bit money on shipping because Sideshow charges a shitload of money for shipping.
Okay.
And it's like, I'll rather just pre-order and then pay when it comes in. I'll pay it at all at once.
Yeah.
All right. So I have a legit question. I'm not singling you out, Dom, because I've actually thought about this. And I've heard this on some other shows as well. And I know it's just a different way in people how they look at their finances. But so paying for something up front that you're not getting, someone else is tying up your money in the meantime.
Oh, yeah.
So even though you're saving maybe a little bit, you still don't have that money to do something else with in the meantime. And you don't have the product to show for it just yet. Now, ordering Hot Toys or items from Sideshow, I like because they charge you the deposit usually, right?
Yeah.
Which is your kind of gauge the risk if you change your mind.
Which BBTS is doing for some figures, on some figures.
Yep. And I think that's reasonable. I think because there's a cost of carrying product and allotting it and things like that for any retailer. But the payment plan piece, why not just make those payments to yourself separate and then buy it outright? Because I hear a lot of people talk about, well, I had 3 different things and the payments all hit for these and that. And I don't really understand the difference. Just pay yourself that payment and pay for it
like
outright
put it
when it comes
put it in
in
a cookie jar for yourself. Like,
yeah, or separate account or or just leave it alone. Leave it in your bank, and just don't touch it.
I get what you're saying, Gary, but like, not to single anybody out here either, but like, Gary, you're a little more selective than I am, right? I can get into something new tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, you know what? I'm dropping fucking $300 on this thing. Fuck it, I need it. I do that, and then I don't have the money to buy that pre-order that I'm, that I want. So I'm like, you know what? If they're gonna charge me $53 this month and then $53 next month, I could handle that.
Yeah.
Because it also allows you to pick what week you want the money to come out of.
Yeah.
So like, I'll give you a perfect example. The beginning of this year, always the beginning of every year, it's tough for me and my wife. We got to pay fucking taxes out the fucking ass for everything. Fucking flood insurance, all this fucking crap. All this money got to come out of fucking nowhere right after Christmas. So when my pre-orders start hitting, and this year was bad, like especially with the SH Figuarts shit, the Mezcos were just coming out left and right.
Mezcos.
So when that came up, the same time I had 3 fucking Sideshow fucking things come up on the same day in January. So they took out, XYZ on the same day. Imagine if I would have had to pay for all 3 of those figures in 1 month. I wouldn't be able to do it.
Well, so like, okay, the life responsibilities aside, I agree with taking care of those. So here's the question I posed to you guys then. What? So funny.
You said I agree with taking. Yeah, I would hope you agree.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying that's being right. That's being a grown up, right? And look, not everybody is like that either, right? We know people that
people get overwhelmed and they spend a little bit more than they should.
Yeah, but is it a pragmatic allotment of finances, or is it the emotional and mental capacity that you're not spending as much money? And I say that because Sideshow Hot Toys, let's say it's $300, right? Mm-hmm. So I make 6 payments of $50. I know it's not exactly accurate, but just for the math. Is it the idea that it just feels like, it's 6 $50 items, and therefore, I'm not spending the full $300? Or is it if I save that $300 myself to buy it all at once, maybe I won't buy that item because I realize with $300 I could buy
something else.
Exactly. Items B, C, or D instead, right?
Yeah, I think Gary, it definitely takes discipline to put that money aside and not touch it because it's for that particular thing. And like Dave said, like there's times where like something comes up and you're like, oh fuck, I want to buy that. And if that $300 is available, I might just do that.
Yeah.
And I like when some of the bigger stuff that I buy from Sideshow, I take advantage of those payment plans because it's cash flow, just a cash flow concept where, I'm getting a paycheck every 2 weeks. And if I can pay a little bit at a time and get that, that pay off that little thing a little bit at a time, when those paychecks are coming in, I don't have to put out a big amount of money at the end of the day. So,
but it's the same amount of money, Dom. It's the same amount.
It is the same amount.
That's all I'm saying.
It helps me on a cash flow basis though. That's all it is. It's like, I know I make a certain amount of money a month, and at the end of that month, this is where my baseline is, and this is what I'm going to spend on bills and credit cards and stuff like that. I know that I spend on a monthly basis, and then eventually I know I have here's my residual income that I can have free with, and that amount is what I try to say. Okay, I'm going to pre-order this on Sideshow and this on Sideshow and this on Sideshow, which will take basically half of that residual income, and then I can use the rest to buy like whatever I want to buy.
So I have a legit question, which is just when you do the payment plans through Sideshow, is there an interest charge added to it, or is it the exact same price?
Okay, exact same price.
Okay.
The only thing that all right. So there's also like, if people are listening and you want to know how Sideshow does business, another thing they do is if you don't pre-order the figure, right, and just so happens that the figure comes out and it's not sold out, within a few weeks they might offer free shipping on it. So that's a con to pre-ordering, because you got to pay that shipping regardless when you pre-order it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And
but,
there's all different things too. Like, I know with certain, like, even if you want to talk about, let's say, statues, a lot of people don't pre-order statues. Like, if they really want it, they'll pre-order it. But like sometimes with statues is that the concept statue will look totally different than the factory statue that comes out. So a lot of people wait until they see the factory statue to actually pre-order or order it, because sometimes the difference will weigh or skew them from making that purchase, because it's a totally different from what they showed when the artist did the concept and everything. It's beautiful, but then when the factory comes out, it might change, and those changes might sway your decision on buying it or not. So it's all different. Like, it's weird because it's like definitely with Hot Toys, like you don't see a lot of from Sideshow. You don't see a lot of pre-orders sell out on Sideshow. You'll see pre-orders sell out on BBTS on Hot Toys a lot. Like if it's like, the Emperor chair, the one that sold out in seconds, Darth Maul, it's sold out in seconds. So like those figures on BBTS sell out, those pre-orders sell out, but then they're still available on Sideshow. So it's weird. Like, some people just like the fact that, I'll pre-order it, not spend the money, or not spend it or put any money towards it now, and then I'll just put the money towards it when I get it. So it's kind of going towards your concept, Gary.
Oh, you mean like, you're just saying you pre-order and pay for it in full when it comes in?
Exactly.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
That's kind of like to you what you're trying to say, Gary.
Yeah, which I've done before with Sideshow. I mean, you pay the deposit and then it's just,
Because
wait for it.
You find it funny because in BBTS, those when they put a pre-order out that's a Hot Toy that has a deposit, you don't see those things sell out right away, right?
Right.
You'll see them still stay up, and they're up and up after months on end until the item gets released. But like the pre-orders that they put up for Hot Toys that don't require a deposit, those pre-orders sell out crazy.
So I'll say one last thing, which I think, again, and everyone's listening knows I'm the biggest advocate for this item, but we were told how many times that Soul Chogokin Voltron would never be released, right? That Bandai didn't have the license anymore, or that it was going to this company or that company, and you'll never see this one again. And I know there's a post somewhere, I don't know how true it is, I don't have it in hand, that the reissue has plastic and not die cast, and then that was disputed and that was fake, and like I don't even know. But I think we've also learned that just about everything eventually gets either reissued differently and improved, or comes back around. Now you may have to wait.
Gary. I hope so, Gary, because I'm waiting for those Mortal Kombat freaking reptile.
You want you want the first line ninjas, right? Hot Toys Hulkbuster, fantastic example.
Yep.
Of it's reissuing, and you can get an upgraded kit to affect how the arm control is.
The one you got, Gary's reissuing.
Yep.
No shit.
With the Juggernaut arm too.
You can buy the Juggernaut. You can buy the other arm separately,
or you can buy the whole Hulkbuster with the Juggernaut arm and everything.
See, like something like Get That, Gary. Like that's $900. How much is that?
Yeah, it's going to be it's
like $1,100, I think. Yeah,
I could never fucking pay for that in one fucking shot. No fucking way. If I did, I'd be taken away from my savings, and I wouldn't want to.
All I'm saying though, again, it's more financial talk. People don't want to hear that stuff. I just, you make the payments the same way you would paying it monthly. You just pay it to yourself and put it aside.
That just don't happen in our life because we got fucking Toy-Con, NJCC, fucking. No, it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen in a John Addicts world.
But Gary, I understand your point because, like, for this pre-order that we did for Mythic Legions, it was a year and a couple months ago. I paid all that money out.
Yeah. Right.
I don't have anything. I don't have anything to showing for it yet. And it's this company. Like you got it's big money, and $2,400 with interest. You get that's like a couple $100.
Yeah.
That you would have made off that $2,400. So it's like
what bank you use that you get a couple $100?
I know.
I'm exaggerating.
It's like $10 at most.
Yeah, but it's $10, Dave. I know. Look, we can split hairs, but yet people will shop from a different site to save that $10 on shipping. Exactly. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So dude, that shit adds up, man.
Yeah. Well, we need. What's that meme with the guy that's like got like the face, or he's like, hey, a shirt for $20. She's like, no. And then, the toys, like, what's what I'm talking about, Dave? I'm drawing a blank.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Like you see somebody, you see a steak dinner and it's $24.99. They're like, hell no. And then the Drake fucking meme you're talking about. He's
that's what it is. Yeah.
And you see a Transformer, he's like, yeah,
I'll take that for $250.
Right.
A lot, and even a lot of those subscription services. Like I remember when, BotCon and all those subscription services, you pay up front, and it'd be like a year and a half before you get the figures, and sometimes you'll spend like $900 that you for the set, and then it's all of a sudden like they had your money for $900 for a year and a half.
Well, that's another thing that you're pre-ordering. You don't know what your taste is going to be like in 6 months.
Yes, Dave. Yes.
Like for example, like when I get SH Figuarts Star Wars figures, right? I tend to order 2, maybe 3 at times because I know that one of you guys might need it. You know what I'm saying?
Don't I?
I do the same thing.
And we all try to do that within each other with other stuff, right? But like, what if in 6 months I'm like, I don't even fucking collect that shit no more. What the fuck am I doing with this? But I have to pay for it.
Can I tell my story really quick? So you're right, Dave, and I'm guilty of it. I'm a prime example. So I don't collect Dragon Ball Z. Last year, Dave tried to get me into it. Like I got one of the DVDs. I tried to watch it. I watched a couple episodes. The first character I liked, I found out that they didn't make a toy of it, and then he died. I was like, well, this stinks. And then I saw that Broly character, right? The Super Saiyan Broly guy, or if I'm saying it right. But I thought he looked good. Dave's like, yeah, he's really expensive. You won't be able to get him for less than like $300. This is before the reissues and stuff. And in one of the groups, I got excited because I thought it was that figure being redone and it looked really good. So I committed to pre-ordering it. And then here it is 7 months later, it comes in. And now I have this fucking statue because it's not an actual Figure Arts action figure. It's what is it? It's a Figure Arts Zero statue, right?
Yeah.
It's like, and it does look good. I mean, it looks cool, but it doesn't fit my collection anywhere. I don't know what the hell I'm going to do with this thing. The box is gigantic. So if I try and flip it and sell it, I'm going to end up losing, a third on the shipping anyway, just because of the size of it. But you're right. It's like, it's easy sometimes to see the preview of something or a pre-order, right? And then be like, yeah, and then totally not really be into it when it comes out, you get caught up in it. So I'm guilty as much as I talk about being financially frugal or disciplined. I mean, look, I'm guilty of making stupid choices myself. So,
but like that's why I like BBTS is pre-ordering. Like if it doesn't require a deposit, I can pre-order it, keep it in my pre-order list, and then if I do lose interest in it, I can let it go. The funny thing is sometimes I'll check. Every time I let go of pre-order, I'll check to see whether it's sold out on the pre-order to see if I want to let it go.
I will too, Don. Yeah, I mean BBTS is a nice safety net, and if you're not paying attention and miss those 10 days, they give you credit.
Yes,
and there's always something to buy there.
Yeah,
and
hey, Brian, is that a way to beat a pre-order if you don't want it anymore? If you don't pay for it, leave it in your pile, and then after 10 days, they'll give you the credit. Yeah, that's a way to beat the pre-order, right?
Yeah, you can still cancel it. You just give you store credit.
They'll just give you store credit. They won't give you. They won't return or refund you the credit card that you paid it on.
Yeah,
I got you. Okay.
And then Gary, to your point, it's always nice to have an exit strategy for some of this stuff. If you get it by accident, it's nice to have friends that you can sell this stuff to, or dude, if you have an opportunity to sell at a toy show like we do, it's nice.
You're right. It's between that or even trading sometimes, right? It works out too that way. So it's just
we've done that plenty of times, right?
Yeah.
The Rock.
Yeah, let's talk about that, Gary. So I remember I traded Gary my the reissue of the Dinobot. What was it? The Cesium. Right?
Cesium. Mm-hmm.
And I was like, don't worry, I'll get another one because it was available at the time. I waited too long. I couldn't get that shit for over a year. I had to look for one.
Well, so that was one, right? Yeah. That's one of those like in the moment where we were just kind of doing a little kind of figure banging, right? Kind of check stuff out, and yeah, I think you were buying Cup, right? Fans Toys Cup, which was cheaper than Cesium, and then you open Cesium like, I want this thing like right now, and you're like, dude, just order it from Hanny, just get it. And I was like, no, I want yours. I want to take it home with me. I didn't buy anything at the show. And so you're like, just take it. We figured it out later. And then, yeah, you kind of other stuff came up, and before you know it, you're like, that thing's gone, dude. I can't get it anywhere. I don't have it. Like,
give it back.
What you should have done was just like, okay, you take this, pre-order that thing for me, and then send it to me.
Yeah,
that's what you could have done.
No, Dave's got me figured out. I think the best way, where he's just like, listen, do you want to take it? Just borrow it for a little while, put it on display. Yeah. It's like, and then I'm like, that's really what you need to do is just,
Yeah, I'm doing that with Dave right now with one of my mythics, and I don't think I'm going to get it back.
Nah, I'm just going to wind up paying you. I'm going to wind up slow paying you on it. You're like, hey Dave, what's this $5 for? That's for that fucking figure. Don't worry, you'll get the full money within a year or so.
What did Dave tell you that you let him hold the figure?
I just brought it up for him to see it, and I let him keep it because I know he would use it for some photos and stuff like that.
I was just gonna say, Jose, Dave's line is, "Let me take some pictures with it." I just want to take some pictures. I'm gonna take some pictures.
Oh man.
But yeah, like I like Gary, I use both sides of that spectrum. I sometimes use Sideshow to do installments. I think it's more on an amount perspective. Like if it's like Dave, like you said, if it's more than like $500, I'm probably gonna do payment plans because I'm not gonna be able to dish out that type of money to all at once. But if it's like a $220 figure, hot toy, I probably can just pre-order on BBTS when it comes out. I'll just, put the money towards that when it comes out.
Nah, Dom, just throw it on the American Express, bro. What are you talking about?
Yeah, put it on a credit card. you fucking die. The debt doesn't come with you. It fucking goes away. I don't need to buy a house anytime soon.
Yep.
Oh, God, yeah. Interesting
stuff. There is a lot of variables to it, the pros and cons, whether you pay up front, whether you pay later. I mean, I think the safe bet, and Dom, you brought it up, how you said, like how the Sideshow stuff will sell out on BBTS and not on the actual website. That just shows that a majority of people are using a site
that advantage,
to hedge their bets and take advantage of that, that what is it? I guess a no penalty cancellation. Are they still giving you those email warnings, like the heads up, like letting you know that
this is coming in stock? Make sure you have enough money in whatever account you have set up with them and stuff like that.
Yeah. So the danger, I guess, like when Dave said early in the show, is that if you're either just not paying attention to those emails, or maybe what if they just stop sending those and you don't don't get alerted of it, and then you don't cancel your pre-order.
Dude, you're not a true nerd if you're not checking your BBTS pile of loot every fucking day. Okay.
So I shared my Figure Arts Zero, the key component to that listing there. So go down the panel. Tell us a story, like what's a pre-order that either you paid for and it showed up that you forgot about, or that you kind of got notified and you were like, you don't even remember like ordering it.
That shit did happen to me, Gary, but I've got to try to remember which figure it was for. I don't remember.
I can answer this right
to me. Go ahead, JD.
Fans Toys Hydra. I forgot I pre-ordered it.
You probably wish that you didn't really forget.
I forgot about it.
I have a funny story. That same figure, Hydra, and then everybody's complaining about it, and I had that pre-ordered at TF Source. Yep. And TF Source, it came in and it hit my stack, and I was like, "Fuck! I don't want that fucking figure." So, luckily, I do a lot. I buy a lot from TF Source, so they know this, and I sent an email saying apologetic email saying, would you do me a solid and cancel my pre-order that's in my stack? I know I know you're not supposed to do it, but can you give me this one time exception? And of course they did, and they refunded me the money, and I didn't have to buy Hydra. So Yes.
Did you know I just going for like $350?
Yeah.
But the one figure that came into mind that I pre-ordered that I had no idea and it was a surprise was the Super 7, the Ultimates, when they did the He-Man, the Skeletor, the Fakor, which now goes for ridiculous amounts of money. But like it was like, I pre-ordered it because I thought it was like a part of the Filmation line. And I didn't know, and then all of a sudden I get an email from Super 7 saying this is coming out, and I'm like, okay, I'm like, awesome, and then I got it, and I open them up, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? I'm like, this is not Filmation, and I'm like, I must have pre-ordered it, and I didn't know that I ever did.
You should sell those things. Don't take them out of the package. Just sell them.
Yeah, I heard they go for a pretty penny. So
yeah, just sell them.
Just flip
them. So Gary, you're in that other group, the import group that I pre-order stuff from once in a while. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So sometimes I get a little like overzealous and I fucking think I'm not going to get the figure because, everybody's saying, oh, it's sold out on Anime Export. It's sold out on Ami. So what I'll do is he'll put up his pre-order and I'll say, I want one, one please.
Yep.
Then all of a sudden somebody will be like, yeah, it's back up on fucking HLJ or whatever. And I'll fucking order it there because it's $7 cheaper than it is through him. And I could also get one for, either Dom or JD or whoever I'm ordering them for. And then I'll forget that I fucking ordered it with him and didn't cancel it. And then I have another fucking figure that I have to pay for when I find out it comes in 6 months later.
And you get the Facebook tag.
I get the Facebook tag. Geeks, please pay up, and I'm like, oh fuck me! Like I fucking have this already. Like what the fuck?
And by the way, David, we have that that Star Stable fucking pre-order with Alex.
yeah.
But so like that will sneak up on me. Like that, I wouldn't like that. You just saying this just reminded me that we pre-ordered that.
Wait, what's Star Saber? The Flame Toys?
Yeah.
You guys are crazy. I can't wait. Can I come look at it when you get it?
Yeah, you guys are crazy. Where you playing that shit? Can I play it?
Yeah, Dave, let him borrow it for real.
Bob, if you're listening, we're not buying you this one, motherfucker. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Nah, but I mean, it's all hit or miss. Like that Star Saber could be fucking could be shitty compared to the Tarn, and I won't know until it drops or a review drops, and then you go. That's $400 out the window.
Yeah. Well, if the fingers stay on, you're good to go, man. You're right as right.
Hydra.
I guess that's always a possibility, but just the fact that the first two releases, by all indications, have been super solid. Is that something like it's almost like, can you expect that from the third release? You'd think it would just be just as solid, no?
I think they're getting better. Like from my understanding, I think the Drift was solid, but I think the Tarn was just a step above that. I don't know if I'm right, but it seems to be that way. It costs more money, so the shit must be better. I don't know. That's the way I look at things sometimes,
And it's going together with the other one, right? To make the Victory Leo.
Yeah, the only thing the only thing I liked about the Drift that it's not on the Tarn is the swapped out hands. I think I would like the swapped out hands on Tarn. That's the one thing I thought they did good on the Drift than the Tarn.
I remember I supported those Astrobots, Jose, like that Kickstarter.
Yeah,
which was cool. No, I thought they were a lot of fun. I picked up one of each, and that was like a package that when it showed up at the house, I totally forgot like what it was. Like I legitimately had no idea what it was. So because I got no tracking, no info, no email. It just the box showed up one day.
Same thing. But that was actually cool though. But that we kind of went into it. We paid up front, no? Right?
Yeah, we did. We paid up front.
We paid up front, and then we kind of did forget about it because it was a surprise just when it did show up randomly that one day. Like, oh damn!
And I was going to let me cut you off. I'm sorry. I think it's the price though too. Like I just know there's a certain threshold that I'll be more sensitive to, pricing on stuff. I think you get desensitized. So when you're spending, anywhere between $50 and $100, maybe you're like, oh, okay. It's not as alarming to track it, but you start getting into, a few $100 or $400 flame toys again, or hot toys stuff.
Yeah.
You're definitely, I think, more in tune as to where that item is, in your,
Yeah.
It's still risky.
You hopefully would think that.
Hopefully.
Do you
Well,
think?
listen,
Did I pre-order?
Listen, we get desensitized all of a sudden. I mean, look, we've talked many times of this separate topic of, escalations and collections and looking at different items and evolving and whatever you think that looks like, it happens,
Yeah. See, but we got a lot of avenues also to like unload like any kind of potential like unwanted, or forgotten like purchases. Like, like Dave, you said you made a lot of sales on eBay like somewhat recently, on items you didn't even think about like posting.
So,
like, the groups.
so proud of him.
Yeah,
So proud of him.
Do you think that also that kind of alleviates some of that pressure of like, damn, like shit, I got this, I didn't want it, but you could kind of just turn around and sell it and not even for a loss.
Well, it's funny you say that, Jose, because like the stuff that I sold was stuff that I brought to NJCC last time, and like literally last day with like slashing prices on. So I had stuff that was like $50 that I sold for over 100 on eBay. And I'm not price gouging. It's just that's what's going for. I checked the sold rates, and I went in $10 under everybody else, $20 under everybody else to get rid of it. And
very well, Padawan.
Yeah, and I made I made it. I made a few $100 in a few days of shit that that was already in a box of that was unwanted. But it also gave me like a little bit of a high, and I was like, what the fuck else could I sell? And I started looking around the room, and I'm like, do I need you? I don't need you. You're going in a box,
Yeah.
Then
we can't see Gary's face right now, but he's smiling.
Yeah. I'm grinning. Like I got.
You guys remember those I know JD's gonna be like, why'd you do that? But those Entertainment Earth packages, the Order 66 ones that came out. No, I still have a set for myself.
Okay.
But I bought 2 sets.
And you sold the other 2 sets.
I sold one of the sets.
Yeah.
Because they're going for a crazy amount of money right now. And I didn't price gouge it. So somebody in the group looking for it. And I said, hey, look, if you want it, this is my price. Dude was like, oh my God, for real? You joking?
I don't know. You were selling them out about them.
JD, I sold it for $120. They're going for over 150 to 200.
Yeah, I know.
And we got them. Need it. And we got them for 30.
Yeah, $40.
40 was it?
$39.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck it. I'll make my money on it.
Hey, you about to get me going back to eBay, Dave?
Yo,
you'd be surprised. Like it's always a good practice to go through your collection and see what things are going for on eBay, because you'd be surprised on how much shit, like some stuff that you have, and how much it has gone up in price because of just demand, and you'd be surprised, and then that would also trigger on whether you're like, do I really need this? Can I sell it for more what I bought it for and actually put it into something more that I'm interested in?
See, I used to kind of do that, but then with like the third-party stuff and like Masterpiece Transformers, like it just made me angry that I spent all this money and it's not worth shit.
Yes, you get the other side of the spectrum. Yes, JD, you're right.
It just made me angry. Like,
you do get angry, but you're supposed to ignore that.
I can't even get it back.
You're supposed to ignore that. You swipe left and just go to the next one.
What's Fantoys Phoenix going for right now on eBay?
I don't know, but I know
probably 300 or more. I would assume. I have no idea, but
it's
why you want to sell it?
See, he sold out, right? The Springer's currently like sold out. Like some of these pieces, man, like those little ones. I guess you got to jump.
You'd be surprised in like Chug stuff too. Like a lot of Chug stuff, that old like Combiner Wars stuff, like like your Superior Combiner, like the Superior Combiner Wars, dude. That goes for a lot of money. Those like as much as we make fun of them. Those Combiner Wars, Superion, and like especially Superion for some reason, but by that the whole set, including like
he was wave 1.
Like that whole set though goes for a lot of money.
Goes Phoenix.
Yeah,
there's 4 listings, 4 American listings.
How much?
$479, $449.
Not even going to tell you guys what I paid for that thing.
$799.
What was his retail? 200, 220,
215. He was 215.
Let's see what sold is.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
But that's like it's always a good practice because
right
it helps
around
you.
$400.
helps you, Gary will be proud of you because then you
500.
look at your collection and see what you need to get rid of because you're not interested in it anymore, and then you can take that money and put it into something else.
You guys are like talking my language. No,
Gary's got a heart on right now.
Dude, it's so true though. It's like if you're not enjoying it or your interests have changed, I don't think it does any good to just keep holding on to stuff and this is long before the lady on Netflix and we talked about it. So, but if you're not enjoying something anymore, then turn it into something else that will make you happier for the moment. And it's okay to know that your tastes change sometimes. It's just like food. Sometimes people like stuff as a kid you don't like as an adult, or vice versa. It's like
pizza, Gary, pizza.
Yeah.
It evolves.
Yeah, all valid points. All valid points.
But the selling is addictive, especially when you're, like you said, Dom. You're either making a little money or you're just breaking even, and that's okay sometimes if you've enjoyed an item and had it, and you break out of it, and then it's like, okay, now you can really combine these 3 or 4 things and get something like really good.
And believe me, like there's been times where I on a cash flow basis, I sell things to break even just so I can get more cash in my pocket and to buy other things. Just so because I might not have the cash available because it's stuck in pre-orders or payment plans for some say. So just to sell something to break even on it, just to get some cash on hand to buy something that I'm more interested in, I'll definitely do it.
What's the phrase that we like to use?
Tied up in finances.
Say again?
Sell to survive.
Yeah, sell to survive. Yep. It all fits in, and we've all caught that fever. I mean, look what we're doing at the NJCCs now with the Rock Island. Like that all came from Bricks just hitting us up last minute. Like, hey, got a few extra tables. Somebody dropped out. If you got anything, bring it to sell it. And I think we all caught the high when we were there that day, just selling shit. Like Dom knows what it's about. Like he was doing that.
Yeah, and then Brian can share his some viewpoints on this. When we started, when we encouraged and we got that first time and we got at the table, is just the conversations you have with people and just the whole thing that you talk more to people. You're a little bit more open because you got a product that you're trying to sell and pitch. You find out what they're interested in, and basically that conversation's happening, and it makes your enjoyment of a show a lot better.
Yeah.
Well, didn't Dom you made friends with some guy last time, and you potentially were going to buy some stuff off him last show?
Yep.
Right.
Yep. It was when I was getting into Hot Toys. He had he had the Luke, the DX9 Luke. So
DX9
or whatever. I forgot what the DX line, DX7 or whatever the hell number it is.
And Dom, also just to elaborate, man, it was really nice to see people. Like there are people going after. Like I had the iGear mini bots, right? Remember we thought they were MP back in the day. Man, I posed them all up on a shelf, and I was like, buy all 4 for whatever. And this guy's like, I'll take those right now. And it's like it brings you joy. It's like, oh, stuff that I don't care for anymore is gonna make someone happy. Kind of great.
Is there anything, Brian, that you sold that maybe you were like, damn, I wish I didn't sell that. Like, I wish I had that now. That after you sell it, it's gone.
No, I haven't made those hard choices yet. I think those are some choices that are coming up here in a month.
Well, that's good because like I'm sitting here trying to think of maybe there was something that I potentially wanted to keep, and I don't miss it. If I don't miss it, that means I didn't care about it.
Yeah, I'm starting to regret now that I
Holy
sold
shit!
That
what
I sold.
panel am I on?
I'm starting to regret now that I sold that extra Phoenix.
Oh yeah, would have been good to sell it now.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's worth the wait in the investment.
Yeah, when it comes from a selling perspective, I just enjoy those moments when somebody comes to your table and they see the figure that they're whether it's a Grail or something that they've been looking for a long time, and they see it on your table and they pick it up, and that face that they make, that like, oh my God, this is what I want, and and at the end of the day, you can offer that type of enjoyment to them, and it's really nice. That's what I loved about selling, and obviously the money coming in, and and my pocket's getting fatter. But at the end of the day, it is.
What are you, Biggie Smalls?
the people, the connection.
Yeah, he's getting the enjoyment out of all of it. But I was about to say, you don't get that on eBay, but the cash coming in is
eBay is very like not impersonal. Like granted, you're messaging back and forth with questions and stuff sometimes with if you're really into what the guy has and stuff like that, because it's always a good thing to I when it comes to eBay and when I buy off of eBay, I've used tactics like bundling to try to get deals. Always look at what they're selling, other things they're selling that you might be interested in, so you can bundle or add 3 or 4 things into that order to get a little, and then ask them if they can work a deal out. That's a kind of tactic that I use a lot, and that requires messaging back and forth, which takes time, but in patience. But like at the end of the day, it's like it's worth it if you could work up a deal that you're looking for, and you get to that deal, and you could get a good price for the figures that you're buying.
Yeah.
But like it's very impersonal. But like I when selling on eBay, it's like communications, and buying on eBay, communication is important. Make sure you reach out if there's any concerns you have. Ask the questions. Just don't buy blindly or sell blindly, and then all of a sudden you get problems at the end, and it just makes the buying experience horrible.
Yeah, for sure. And especially if you want to stay on top of like the feedback that you have, like you always want to keep that 100% if you have it. Like I had it, and so I always, try to ship fast and make sure those lines of communication are open when you are doing that. Dave, you've inspired me. I'm probably going to list some items and see if they sell.
Make sure, like, if you're looking to break even or if you're willing to take a loss, eBay charges 10% on sellers' fees, and then you get another 3 to 4% loss on fees in regards to PayPal. So if you ever like to look, like do what Dave does, like Dave said, like, take a look at what things sold for, price it. If you want to sell it fast, price it down like $10 or $15 below everybody's asking, because everybody, if you're a buyer, you go to what you're looking for, put it in the search, and go to that filter and go lowest price first, and you go down the trail, and boom, if you're the lowest and you're right next to $5, even if you're $1, like I find out, like if I'm $1 cheaper than the lowest guy, they'll pick me and I'll make the sale.
Yeah, of course. Why not?
Yeah, and don't do that free shipping shit.
I do free shipping. I do free shipping, but I calculate it into it. So like,
oh, okay, all right. Well,
so like when I do my price, I calculate it and then deem it if it's worth me doing it. So like, what I do is I go up and I say, okay, what's the lowest? What's it going for the lowest? And it's like, okay, $60. So if I put it up for $59, can I ship this for $5 and take the 17%, the 14% off, and still make a little bit of money or break even? Then I'll do it. But if I don't, then I won't. I'll just wait to do the waiting game and just wait until the demand goes back up.
Yeah, I don't like to do the free shipping because they can't take the percentage off the shipping.
No, they do now.
Get the fuck out of here.
They do now, Dave.
Who does?
It's eBay.
They take a percentage from the shipping?
Yep.
Get the fuck out of here.
I
need to speak to you more.
Yeah, they stopped. People were playing that game where they put like $1 for their figure and
$40 shipping.
Yeah, $40 shipping, and they stopped playing that game, and they charge now. The 10% comes off the shipping, the listed price, and the shipping price.
Correct.
God damn it.
Yeah. They caught on. I used to see that a lot, especially from the items overseas.
Oh yeah. Dave, you'll get your eBay invoice soon.
I did. I got my first one. It was like $17, which I was like, all right, that's fine.
Mine was $230.
Yeah.
Oh jeez.
Well, and usually when I would, I usually offer free shipping when I'm selling in the groups. You know what I'm saying? So I would do the same on eBay if it's not going to be too much of a loss. And Dom, like you said, just try to bake it into,
bake it in. Yeah, bake it in.
So
because people, it's funny because eBay is like that. Like people don't look at the listed price. They look at the listed price and the shipping price, and they say, okay, this costs $65. Oh well, shipping is $5, and the item's listed $60. So they're like saying, oh, I'm getting a deal because this guy's going free shipping $60, free shipping $65, and you have it for $60 listed price and $5 shipping. It's the same to them. Nothing's different. Like, they're not going to buy your $60 item because it's less than the the $65 that they have like with free shipping. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It sucks, but that's the way it is.
Snook Spinal Tap in the in the chat said that also if you have it as free shipping, you might show up in another search criteria.
Yeah.
Can you do that in your filters?
I think that's something that you could filter like for free shipping. So that might be a boon like that. So, all right, good stuff. Well, we could wrap on that. We'll open this hangout out to the rest of the realm. We'll throw the link out in the Realm of Collectors Facebook group. Anybody that's watching or listening could join us here and continue the conversation. Before we head out, let's just run it down the line and get some where you at. Brian Brink, I'll start with you, brother.
Brian Brink in the Facebook groups, at Brinklizer on Instagram, and looking forward to seeing fellow Realmers this weekend. Be good at the Lowry wedding. Looking forward to it.
Yes, sir. Big Dom.
You can find me in the Facebook group as Dominic Rosso, and here Tuesday night, fellas, and hopefully back at Dave's house to get my fucking figure back.
I know.
He'll be visiting soon. Dave.
Dave, make some cookies before he shows up.
Oh, fuck that shit.
All right, Dave.
Yo, you can find me on Instagram, Energon Addict, here on Tuesdays, and checking all my pre-orders just to make sure I have enough money.
You're not a true nerds if you gotta check your pre-orders. Check your pre-orders.
Check them out. All right, G Money.
Yeah, with you guys here, first part of the week, and on Facebook under Gary Allen.
All right, JD.
JD Brocious on the Facebook group, Pigment Surgery on Instagram and Xbox Live. Every Tuesday here with you fellas, you beautiful fellas. And every other Wednesday. Yeah, you're welcome. You big, tall, hairy hunk of man.
Harry, look at you, man. You're growing.
Dude, I can guarantee, like, if you don't shave in the morning,
I have a 5 o'clock shadow at 12 o'clock.
Yeah, you have like, it's like 80 grit sandpaper on the side of your face right now.
Yeah, I can definitely do some carving right now. You got some diodes that I can shave down?
Sure. Face. No fake it banging this week. Next week be all new.
All new. Sweet. All right.
And yeah, this weekend at the Lowry wedding. I'm excited to see a bunch of you guys.
Oh, you're coming down too?
Yeah, we'll be there.
Sweet.
Yay.
JD, do I owe you any toys?
There'll be another rock swap.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know. I know that I think I owe Dave money, and Jose still has my Ermac.
Yes, which I have the list. Maybe on eBay.
90 and up, baby. 90 and up.
Gotta account for those fees, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. And as for myself, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Xbox Live, and the PlayStation Network, all at Harrick MBX. And check out Verbally Challenged with Harrick MBX on all audio platforms. For anybody that's watching, listening, subscribe to the channel and hit that thumbs up button, please. I saw a very small amount of thumbs up compared to the people that were watching. So before you sign off, hit that thumbs up button, guys. We really, really appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. You could catch an audio version of this podcast. It's available on all podcast pushing platforms, iTunes, Podcast Addict, whatever you use. You can find us. Just search Breaking the Mold and subscribe to the audio version of this podcast. Remember to check out Crashbox Customs on social media for all your Mezco and diorama needs. Mention the word Realm when placing an order. You'll get a surprise gift with your purchase. Check out the website, realmofcollectors.com. Check out the Facebook group, Realm of Collectors, and we're also on Instagram at Realm of Collectors. This show is a proud part of the Cool Table, so please pull up a chair. It's a network hub for like-minded podcasts, including Enter the Realm, Plastic Fanatics, Shattercast, Uncut, Toy Detox, Nerd Rage Radio, Beer and Bolters, 30K, I believe it is now, Stasis Lock, 8 weeks, building up to it, and Fresh Communication. Go find the Cool Table on Facebook and subscribe to all those other awesome podcasts. All right, guys. ROC Hangout continues next. That does it for us this week. We'll see you next week. Peace out.
Peace. Later.
Turtles. All right, Dave, give Don back his figure, all right?